Banana, Natural. If I name it, flame it up with United Color Raps, man. Make sure you smoke up, smoke responsibly. Salute to United Color Raps and salute to Big U with the new app we already building over there, man. Make sure you guys transition over there to the Unique Music app. That is the Unique Music app where you're going to be able to politic with the Damu Kiwe Conversation team, the whole team, Do Sam's, Diamond, That Girl Henny, and me. Damu Kiwe Conversations, play games, all type of things. Distribute your music for free. Salute to Big U and the Unique Music app. Salute to the crew on Clubhouse right now doing a job. The green beams that's on stage, man. Salute to the mobs. They are always on their job, man. Salute to Bo Money. We got Bo Money, Unmessy, Faux Ball. Who else up in the house, man? We got D Slim. Who else? It's a plethora of people, man. I can't see everybody, but salute to everybody that's on stage. Big Messy, salute to you. Salute to everybody in the goo. If you haven't, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. If you in the chats, hey, the chats is where it's at. Salute to the Blue Wrench Mob because they are always on the job, man. We got Hennies in the chat. Salute to the Hennyettes with the shot glasses. I want a shot. Send me one. But salute to everybody in the chat. If you haven't, like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all remember, y'all sitting in one of the hottest lives on YouTube and one of the dopest rooms on Clubhouse. This is Damu Kiwe Conversations.
Once again, shout out to United Color Raps. You can follow them on Color Raps and Cones on Instagram. Go follow, tell them we sent you. We definitely got the content, but as the sis was only one that he decided to have the balls to disrespect, I'm going to let her go, and then we're going to get into this video from Scandalous, Los Angeles, and bring y'all the content. Hit that like button and share on your way in.
Let's go, pull that Rico up for me, please, so that we can give everybody a clear understanding of what the Rico Act is, because he gave a very shoddy and shitty one on Clubhouse.
Hey, Diamond, you got to send me the Rico. You didn't send it to me. Diamond. Apologies, sis.
I'm coming right now.
All right. In the meantime, in between time, go ahead.
Got it, Diamond.
Hey, fuck you, Henny. Hey, get CS2 crack out of here. Get him out of here now. Get him out of here.
How you know that was CS2 back?
So what was that you was popping on Clubhouse?
I already told you. I'm going to break a Henny glass over your ass. You understand me? Hey, you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
So I'm going to take that same glass.
The bartend ain't bartend.
And you going to sit on it. I think you might like it.
Well, they do call me crack 3-finger back. I like crack from the back. How you like that?
Tell me what your real issue is, back.
You know, I want, my strong-faced woman, I like a real strong woman, and I got, you want phage, I got phage for you.
Hold on, don't talk to CS2 crack like that. Don't you dare do that. I'll break a Henny glass on you.
Don't come over here with all of that. You better worry about them feds because they coming for you and your man.
Hey, you see my man knuckles. I'm a real man. I mean, real woman. You better watch yourself.
Hold on, I got a question. When they come and get y'all, are you going to the woman's side or the men's side of the federal?
I'm going wherever I'm allowed because my nuts hang long. I mean, you better watch yourself. You better watch it.
Do you pitch or receive, or do you do both?
I do both. You know how my man like it, 3 fingers strong. Ain't that right, baby?
I seen them knuckles. I seen them knuckles. Them is some real mittens. Hey, Diamond, what you say about them mittens?
Them motherfuckers.
Oh, I'm not fooling with you tonight, man. All right, so y'all ready?
Yeah.
Get it.
About to get into this content. All right. So the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organization Act, known as RICO, is a federal law that criminalizes racketeering activities and organized crime. It was passed by Congress in 1970 we ain't gonna go into why they passed it, but it was passed in 1970 as part of an effort to reduce organized crime and to help go too fast.
Oh, my
And
bad.
to help victims recover. The law's purpose is to prevent organized crime and racketeering from infiltrating legitimate businesses that operate in interstate commerce. So now understand that Raycon is a global business entity because he was doing business all over the world. Remember them little earbuds and them little scooty bikes? Yeah. So that goes with interstate commerce. Goes across the states, goes across the globe. Okay, RICO. It makes illegal for anyone associated with an enterprise that affects interstate or foreign commerce to participate in its affairs through racketeering or unlawful debt collection. Racketeering is defined as a coordinated effort by multiple people to repeatedly earn a profit through illegal means, such as fraud, extortion, bribery, threats, or violence. Examples of racketeering activity includes money laundering and drug trafficking.
Wow. All right. I'm glad we got that one.
No,
The
last little part. The last part.
Oh, wrong way. Oh, we got work. We got the work. And there you go. That was the last part.
Okay, RICO violations can result in a maximum prison sentence of 20 years, as well as heavy financial penalties. The law also has civil components that allow victims of RICO-related crimes to sue in civil court and recover tangible damages, which is 3 times the amount of harm caused by the offender.
I heard the hell out of that. So, for people who didn't understand what the RICO was, essentially it's a sophisticated, multifaceted conspiracy. It has to affect commerce in interstate commerce in the United States for the feds to have the jurisdiction. The evidence we showed yesterday that it was kicked off from LA Superior Court to the federal RICO is evidence that it obviously traveled through interstate commerce, the business, the money, etc. When they talk about threats, they talk about violence, and they also talk about extortion. Today, our main focus is going to be extortion, and that seems to be the MO of CS2 back. So we're going to go ahead and get into this video. Hey, shout out my boy Mo Scandalous Los Angeles TV. If y'all haven't already subscribed, make sure y'all subscribe at Active Chucks and at that girl Henny. Let's get into the content.
Scandalous Los Angeles, down the Keyway, conversations.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. In today's episode, we're going to be reading the official declaration of Jared Milgrim. CS2 back insists that this lawsuit has no criminal elements to it, and he insists on putting all the blame on Raytronics, hoping to distance himself from what's coming. Since we're only going to read the declaration today, I decided to spice it up a little. I called Fatback Loves Boys Milk of Magnesia and asked if she would like to do the narrating today. She told me she'd love to, and that she thought I'd never ask.
Declaration of Jared Ryan Milgrim, I, Jared Ryan Milgrim, state and declare as follows. 1. I am the plaintiff in pro se in the above titled action. I make this declaration of my own personal knowledge and could and would so testify if called. 2. The statements in this declaration are true and correct to the best of my knowledge and belief. 3. I am over the age of 18 years and competent to make this declaration. 4. I understand that this declaration is made under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California. 5. I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California that the foregoing is true, correct, and is being made in California. 6. Defense counsel emailed me May 5th, 2023. He refuses to meet and confer regarding April 23, 2023, meet and confer letter, forcing plaintiff to file this motion to compel. 7. On Sunday, May 7, 2023, at approximately just before 4 a.m., the day before the filing of this motion, plaintiff and Mr. and Mrs. Norwood, close associate Lowell Grissom, aka Young. Lowe did not reportedly survive being shot 5 times inside a high-end Miami club, Gala nightclub, in what is furthermore reportedly a targeted murder per news reports and friends while named and served, defendant Mr. Cash Jones commented, "Nasty work" on rapper Jason Taylor, aka The Game Post, to Rest Easy Low, made hours later in the day. Mr. Grissom is also the individual noted in original complaint, whom texted plaintiff in approximately December 2016, "You gone cause a war if that saw don't come done. But like I said, Ray J OHB now. And that's a problem," and defense counsel Todd Wolf hadn't recalled or noticed. Page 8, paragraph 23, lines 7 to 9 of plaintiff's original complaint, until it was cited by plaintiff on approximately, I believe, the April 7th, 2023 meet and confer phone call regarding grounds, causes of action, that counsel wasn't happy regarding. Mr. Grissom was a known blood associated with EOE, OHB, mob ties. Furthermore, Mr. Grissom is one of the individuals plaintiff had also defined as associate with believed discoverable communications with Mr. Norwood. 8. Plaintiff received a serious threat of murder from named defendant Mr. Jones in February 2017 regarding Mr. Norwood, if not on his behalf, with statements, "No more Ray J business," multiple times, and "No way I'd let a cracker get 1%, whom Mr. Jones manages and threatened. Action against plaintiff on his Instagram, putting the community on notice, and manufacturing plaintiff as a peeping Tom, etc. Plaintiff contacted Mr. Norwood twice in email to get it taken down due to potential harm. Plaintiff knew was coming his way, as stated essentially in one of the emails on the matter. Yet Mr. Norwood did nothing to plaintiff's current knowledge to get it taken down, nor stop any harm from coming plaintiff's way. Mr. Norwood essentially fraudulently denied every single RFA set 1-3 since hiring current counsel Mr. Wolf, where RFA set 2-3 were all based off exhibits, and before even answering and between delaying approximately 8x, Mr. Norwood contemplated suicide famously. In approximately late 2022, Mr. Norwood conveniently denied receiving emails related Mr. Jones' threat to denying sent messages regarding 1% to anything RICO related, including dozens of exhibits from Mr. Norwood's own social medias, company social medias, news outlet videos, associates' online statements, to his phone number all denied, yet that it have been unknown regarding his number. That's an exhibit on plaintiff original complaint. Yet if Mr. Norwood hadn't leaked his number online, showing off his Kim Kardashian direct messages conversation in late 2022, plaintiff proving the continuing fraud aspect in 2020 would not be as easy, etc. Frankly, the amount of fraud since litigation, while caught red-handed and not settling, is deeply concerning while people are being killed, including another one of Mr. Norwood associates from his same crew as Mr. Grissom. EOE member Don Vici was killed in approximately February 2023, 3 months earlier. 9. Plaintiff is under the belief that defendant Mr. Norwood has text message and several forms of communication that he uses, and would furthermore support the required predicate acts regarding plaintiff's active named captioned tort RICO, due to, for another example, Mr. Norwood fraudulently denied a Suge night leaked jail phone call where he stated Ray J, Mr. Norwood, was texting other gang members. He was going to have them stabbed and raped to Mr. Norwood denied fraudulently b his famous Breakfast Club threatening rant to have male rapper Fabulous raped while boasting he has 100 fools that'll move, etc. c. Mr. Norwood had Suge Knight attempting extortion of singer Akon that Akon spoke about after plaintiff filed complaint as well. Mr. Jones discussing how Mr. Knight did that mission on Mr. Noel Fisher, aka Detail, that helped plaintiff recollect of Mr. Fisher studio equipment being stole due to Mr. Norwood, Mr. Knight D. Mr. Norwood denied the audio of him and Mr. Jones discussing how he had Mr. Jones press an individual, believed to be John Paul, over Miami scoot bike issue due to Mr. Norwood threatened. Plaintiff is aware of Mr. Jones' extortion with obscene, explicit material rackets as well for his Fifth Amendment ent after he plead that on attempted murder and being a member of Pacoima Piru Bloods, PPB, and as Mr. Norwood, the Game Street Muscle, etc. with the name Wack for killing people, including allegations by victims of shootings to knowledge in Mr. Jones' conspiracy, including stating he had rapper 40 Glock patted on his back, who had sued for an earlier incident and had issues stemming around approximately 2017, when Mr. Jones is not giving others serious threats of murder. And Mr. Jones is now in some scope one of the voices of the West Coast streets gangs since social media platform Clubhouse and podcast to TMZ, where he's consistently broadcasting gang culture, politics, threats, etc., while Mr. Norwood claims he put Wack, Mr. Jones, on in the Piru Blood Gang high rankings. And Ms. Norwood, in approximately June-July 2016, suggested getting Mr. Jones involved if it's a problem. Plaintiff, approximately 2 months later, after Mr. Jones' February 2017 phone call in April 2017, was almost killed and had his gold chain stolen by one of the conspirators, never returned, while in handcuffs, custody of Officer Alfredo Garcia, 409-5, and Chareda Mays, collectively of a LAPD SMART unit that resulted in plaintiff's cervical injury, dark surgery, and countless constitutional human rights violations where Ms. Mays withheld plaintiff statements regarding serious threat of murder by Mr. Jones while seeking advice for CCW, etc., that Ms. Mays withheld the name, etc., all in a conspiracy.
Grammarly now uses AI to help you write, not just revise. Type
Once
prompts
again,
and
shout out my
Manufactured
boy,
5150. While Ms. Mays, furthermore, has a clear connection with Mr. Jones and his gang, and Ms. Mays is even throwing up same gang sign Mr. Jones does on Ms. Mays' Facebook, until she deleted her account immediately after it was mentioned in litigation to Ms. Mays following Mr. Jones' Clubhouse, Sleepless in LA, and was invited on invite-only platform Clubhouse to begin by Ms. Mays' own relative, her cousin Ms. Wyan Vaughn, who host multiple Clubhouse talks with Mr. Jones, etc., as well as close friends with Mr. Norwood's other mob group associate, Corey Marks, aka Notch as well, appears to be an associate of Mr. Norwood's sister, Ms. Norwood daughter, Brandy Norwood, as well as multiple other Mr. Norwood associates. Ms. May's testimony contained multiple contradictory statements to other witnesses, including officers' testimony and doctors' testimony, to even her own partner testimony, etc., in what's been a massive proven conspiracy outside of Ms. May's own acts in furtherance. Furthermore, in approximately December 2016, months before the April incident, Mr. Jones did an interview discussing working with dirty cops and gang member cops, that people don't know that's what they are, and all he needs is a license plate and those police. He couldn't go to Miami, that all stemmed from the cause of action in the approximately $31 million lawsuit by Jean Paul with surviving torts, civil theft, unlawful conversion, and slander before it was settled to E. Mr. Norwood denied the Clubhouse audio exhibit where a female by the alias of Passion was seeking Mr. Norwood to state the incriminating acts she had performed in the past to get notoriety in the gang. Yet Mr. Norwood replied he didn't want to get her indicted after Mr. Jones had been promoting Passion would set people up, etc. to F. Mr. Norwood also reportedly had Suge Knight jump rapper Bad Az due to not letting Mr. Norwood on a bus. G. Mr. Norwood was accused of being Ms. Whitney Houston drug supplier per her sister-in-law to Mr. Jones in approximately 2022, discussing on Clubhouse him, Mr. Norwood, and Whitney hanging out where she was smoking crack and doing cocaine, to fact Mr. Norwood admitted it's all his fault regarding her death per media reports to Corner Report listed as a contributing cause to H, when Mr. Norwood and associate delivered thousands of dollars of cocaine with scoot bike to a certain celebrity in approximately March-April 2016. Mr. Norwood promotes the gang in music to drugs. In music visuals, the gang members moves to promoting the killers, shooters that are all integral to running the enterprise. In addition to multiple other predicate acts that plaintiff has provided evidence of in discovery from extortion, serious threats of murder, conspiracy, dealing obscene material, violation of Controlled Substance Act, gang overt acts, etc. Jared Ryan Milgrim, plaintiff in proceed dated May 8, 2023. Motion to compel discovery responses to RFPs and RFAs. Milgrim v. Raytronix Inc. et al.
Shout out Mo Scandalous Los Angeles TV. We definitely needed that video, and she broke down the statement of facts. So, They questioned the legitimacy of our paperwork. Shout out to Henny. She went live and explained it better than it could be explained. If you go on the LA courts website and pull it up, you're not going to find that docket number. You want to know why? Because we told you the feds picked it up. So you would have to Google it to get it. He's sending them, hey, go look this up. And no, just Google the case number. It's going to come up. So the authenticity cannot be questioned. If y'all can pull it up, we can pull it up. So when he said that she doesn't know what she's talking about, well, I got something else to tell y'all. You had let me get to this stuff right now. Shout out to salute to the chat, man. Y'all active in the chat. Drop them chucks, drop them Henny glasses, #ETE. All right.
Keyway conversations.
You can see that, Henny?
I can see that perfectly clear.
All
right. So it says, admit defendant Mr. Jones was provided a free custom scooty bike by Raytronics. Admit Mr. Jones. Now, this is the deposition that we're going through. So this is why it is set up this way, because these are the things that they want them to admit to. They want all of these things answered for. So it says, admit Mr. Jones acted on behalf in some form with Raytronics on behalf of Raytronics board members, shareholders, to contact plaintiff in approximately February of 2017. Admit that Mr. Jones was instructed to contact informed plaintiff. There's no way I'd ever let a cracker get a % on behalf in some form from Raytronics on behalf of Raytronics board members, shareholders in approximately February 2017. Admit Mr. Jones.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Admit that Mr. Jones was instructed to contact plaintiff in verbatim. You know how connected I am across the globe. I don't have to unalive nobody. They just going to do it because that's what they feel they told. On behalf in some, next doc.
It's not in order. Form, there it goes.
Raytronics on behalf of Raytronics board members, shareholders in February of 2017. Admit that Mr. Jones was instructed to contact Jean Paul to threaten on behalf in some form with Raytronics on behalf of Raytronics board members, shareholders in 2016. Admit that an individual was instructed to set up Instagram account handle at I Ride For Me on behalf in some form with Raytronics on behalf of Raytronics board members, shareholders in 2016. This is the racketeering.
Exactly. So obviously they're alleging that Wack 100 had a burner account on YouTube called I Ride For Me with 2 E's on it, right? Maybe that's Eastside Pacoima, who knows? But check this out. When they're telling him to admit that defendant Jones was provided a free custom scooty bike by Raytronics, he's trying to establish a business tie, right? Then he wants to go further and say that Mr. Jones acted on behalf of Raytronics and Raytronic board members, shareholders, to contact the plaintiff. So he calls the plaintiff on behalf of Raytronics in some capacity and admit that Mr. Jones was instructed to contact and inform plaintiff there's no way he let a cracker get a percentage on half in some form with Raytronics. He did that on behalf of Raytronics, and then he was instructed to not only cut them off on the business, he's trying to bobo. You know what I'm saying? He has to also admit that Mr. Jones was instructed, you know how connected I am across the globe. I don't have to kill nobody. So this is his modus operandi. This is how he's doing business. A business dispute goes down. He's threatening the dudes, trying to intimidate the dude up out of his percentage of Raytronics. So this is why he's being implicated in this federal RICO. That is criminal behavior, right?
I got a question. I want to say something. Sorry.
Go ahead.
But couldn't that Scooty bike also be evidence of quid pro quo? You give me this custom bike and I do this for you?
Well, I think it was part of the perks, but he really just wanted to establish that he was doing business with Cash Jones, so they can't cut him out of the percentage he's supposed to get, right? Okay.
And you got the comments over my face. The people can't see me.
Okay, let me turn that off. My bad. All right, there go Henny. I know y'all was trying to look. I see y'all stalking Henny. Admit your Cash Jones, aka Wack 100, has been convicted at one time. Oh, my bad. This is Henny. Let's go, Henny.
Okay. All right. So admit you are aware Cash Jones, aka Wack 100, had been convicted at one time of a felony criminal. I guess they meant criminal act, but They didn't finish the sentence. Admit you're aware of Cash Jones, aka Wack 100 Company, Fifth Amendment Entertainment. Admit you've been a self-labeled momager. This is going to Miss Norwood.
Miss Norwood.
For your child's career. Admit you've managed your son, defendant Mr. Norwood. Admit you worked/were associated in some scope with convicted drug trafficker, murder for hire felons, James Rosemond, aka Jimmy Henchman / Cesar Entertainment.
Czar Entertainment. So
Czar? My bad.
So essentially they're asking Brandy and Ray J's mom on these questions so they could prove their case. That she knew that Wack was a felon, been convicted of a felony criminal at one time. So they're trying to establish that she knew who she was dealing with. And they probably doubling down. I don't really understand Jimmy Henchman's tie into this, other than at some point she allowed Jimmy Henchman to manage Brandy in some capacity. But
prior conduct.
Right.
Prior conduct. This is not something that's a one-time thing. This is something that she has a history of. They're building the case.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And that's what they do with investigations. For those who's not privy to that type of information, they go research and they build the case. All of the crumbs that you left behind, wire transfers, money laundering, they're looking into all of that as we speak.
Okay. Admit you infamously conspired with others to intentionally lie on Oprah Winfrey on national television. Admit to your knowledge within 10 years of the complaint being filed, defendant Mr. Jones has allegedly acted with lawlessness relevant to this litigation. Admit to your knowledge within 10 years of the complaint being filed, defendant Mr. Jones has conspired in violation of the law with at least one defendant / individual relevant to this litigation. So those would be the people on the list, the associates.
Exactly. Well, not even just the associates specifically, those when they filed it with the feds, that all it has to be is in furtherance of one of the other people that they're investigating. Anybody from Raytronics in the capacity of CEO, whether it was Ray J, whether it was Ray J mom, that he had a conversation at some point, right? And conspired with, that they have knowledge at some point and conspired with Jones, knowing that he was a past criminal, to prove and link them to the acts that he alleges that he was beat up by crooked police. He alleges he was threatened over the phone. All of these things, they're trying to tie them in to Cash Jones. Can you see that?
Yep. Scroll down.
I'm not crooked. I just like I can't say that, but yeah, I like them crooked. Hey, Roo.
Hey, you can't just creep up on a nigga like that, bro.
And you are aware social media accounts at Scooty Bike, Instagram, Twitter that were created in February of 2016 was Raytronics intellectual property. Admit that you had Kathy Freud on Mr. Norwood's behalf incorporate Raytronics Inc. Admit on approximately July 2016, when you spoke with plaintiff regarding takedown of plaintiff's content from social media, that to your knowledge, no individual had an ownership / percentage of Raytronics Scooty Bike besides either Mr. Norwood, yourself, Norwood Controlled Trust. Admit you would consider before the initiating of this litigation having defendant Mr. Jones involved in potential issues that may / would arise. Admit you have before the initiating of this litigation had defendant Mr. Jones involved in potential issues that arise relevant to this litigation. Admit that Max Boyd, wife Brandy Burnside, are close associates of yours, defendant Mr. Norwood. Admit there is reason Mr. Boyd stated that you are the real gangster of the Norwood family. Admit you want to sue the plaintiff for malicious prosecution after all the actions that transpired. Admit plaintiff's claims are partial / full meritorious claims. Yeah. Admit you viewed at least a portion of Mr. Norwood RFA set 1 through 3.
And then at the bottom, you can see his signature, plaintiff and pro per, which means he represented himself and filed this himself. So essentially, when we talk about Wack 100, they wanted her to admit that before the initiating of the civil suit, she had defended Mr. Jones, Cash Jones, involved in potential issues that arise relevant to this litigation. So he's trying to get her essentially to throw Wack up under the bus and establish that Wack was working on behalf of her. He want her to admit to that, right? So that he can make sure that Wack 100 is tied in for the allegations he presented about him. Man, just for a side note, if y'all don't tune in on Thursday when we get into Miss Norwood, y'all gonna miss it. Because she's the real gangster of the family and all of that. But back to CS2 back, man. Tomorrow we doing Ray J. So tune in for that, day 3 and day 4. Let me get into this. Boom. I just wanted to show y'all this. She don't have to read this. This was just to show that the paperwork in the Superior Court lists Cash McElroy Jones on this paperwork. Y'all can see that, right?
Yeah, because he's quick to say that he's not listed on anything, but he's right there.
In his own individual capacity.
Yep.
Cash McElroy Jones, a.k.a. Wack 100, an individual. His individual capacity and inclusive. Inclusive meaning his corporations and businesses that he does business under.
What do you mean? Hey, that ain't me, nigga.
Hey, how it ain't you? Ain't you Cash McElroy Jones?
My name is CS. I don't know who that is. I bleed the fifth. Hey, get my lawyer. 64th floor now. Harry Root. Hey, right now.
Okay, well, we got something for Henny. You definitely need your lawyer, but it seemed like you might have already made some statements. Where are your statements at, besides the ones you was smoking crack? Here we go, Henny.
Here we go. Grounds. Defendant, former counsel stated they'd refuse to answer anything RICO relevant, even with a motion to compel. And while stating then and still, plaintiff is trying to force a settlement with discovery questions and proceeded to somehow deny everything and not recall when it clearly was a massive issue, and now clearly changing strategy to fraudulently deny them, to now blow that up. Boilerplate. Objections. Plaintiff has provided evidence of Mr. Norwood addressing Mr. Jones, pressing an individual regarding Miami's scooty bike issue, as well as Mr. Jones' threats to the plaintiff, while stating no more Ray J defendant business multiple times, and others, including sticking a gun in an individual's mouth, in addition to defendant statements. I had 100 fools outside, will move right now, etc. To stating he didn't want to indicate passion on Clubhouse for her actions regarding what she used to do for him to defend it. Furthermore, clearly possessed
promethazine.
I was trying to think of how to say that, but whatever. We just gonna say that. Promethazine and codeine, y'all know what that is, okay? On interviews, to parties, to the cocaine being even delivered to Scooty Bike, to a celebrity with text message evidence, to allegations of possession of thousands of ecstasy pills, and Kardashian stating was on E while filming infamous video that Norwood denied publicly, to singer Akon discussing how Suge Knight extorted him due to defendant to a witness statement regarding a federal judge helping defendant on a state case, in addition to facts of plaintiff's injury, where defendant Mr. Jones months earlier discussed having crooked cops working for him, in addition to overt aspects of clear gang member from color, gang signs, lingo, and promoting the gang through music and entertainment, etc., and more alleged RICO activity and evidence.
So it's saying that Wack 100 enlisted the reasons and the activity that was RICO activity. What got him involved in this case? So when he said that ain't got nothing to do with me, I had called Ray J and asked him about it. Well, first of all, that was a lie. Henny, could you build on that real quick before you continue of how you know that was a lie?
So how I know that is a lie is because Wack 100 is listed in the document. Let me see if I can pull that up for you. Hold on. Dudes, take yours down for a second. Let me pull that up for the people so they can see it clearly over here. All right. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my screen together. And tonight we don't need no glasses because I can see clearly how he been out frauding. All right. So if you were in my live earlier, then you know. You're probably going to see us on the screen for a second.
We got CS2 back on Clubhouse right now. He just came in and ran out.
Go ahead. Now let me go to my screen.
Let me turn that on so you
can y'all see the screen?
Hey,
yes.
Shut up.
You better pipe down, little daddy.
I get piped down. And I pipe it down. Oops.
So on this document right here, as you can see, it says notice to adverse party of removal to federal court. This is the document that we read last night, but I went through it. And this is what we found. These are all of the documents that were sent out. A copy of all pleadings filed in the Superior Court are attached hereto as followed. These are all of the documents that are included in the 359-page document. Okay. And as you scroll down all these motions and minutes and everything that was going in, when we get down here to number 83, it says answered by Cash McElroy Jones. And then when we get down to 88, it says answered by Cash McElroy Jones. So if you have no knowledge of this case, then how are you answering to anything? Not only that, I ain't done.
Do your thing.
You see this document right here? This document right here is a consent to remove to federal court, which means that all parties involved had to consent to this case even moving to the federal courts. And what does it say right there, ladies and gentlemen? In bold text, Raytronics Inc., Willie Ray Norwood Jr., Sonia B. Norwood, and who? Cash McElroy Jones.
That's not me.
That's you. That's you.
Ray J.
That's you.
I talked to earbuds. I talked to the feds.
You talk to everybody, don't you?
You talk to the feds? How many times? When? About what?
Silence.
You on the list. Hey, blood, you on the list, blood. Hey.
I'm
Now,
on what
this
list,
also
brother?
says that they're being represented by Thomas K. Richards, which is their attorney. Mr. Richards hereby consents to removal of this action on behalf of his clients. Who are his clients? The people named in bold letters up there. So how do you not know about this when your attorney who represents you gave the consent, which means your attorney had to bring it to you to get your consent, because it's illegal for him to make consent without your knowledge? And how are you answering stuff to a case you have no knowledge of? And all of this stuff is saying that it's being moved to federal. So you know good and damn well that this is a federal case now. So you need to stop lying.
Nasty word. We're going to get back to these last documents, and then we're going to talk about this extortion thing, man. Let's go. We got some more.
So how's that for not knowing what I'm talking about?
That's a good question, because it sounds like you know what you was talking about then.
Hey, Henny, you off the Henny right now on Pyro. Look, listen. Hey, I got the bitches for you. You not ready. Hey, where you from? Hey, Henny, where you from? Hey, niece, where you from?
I plead the fifth.
All right, Henny, here we go.
He just called you niece?
Yes, he did call me niece.
Oh, you can't see that? My bad, Henny.
No, I can't see it. You got to share your screen.
I forgot I wasn't sharing no more. Let's go. There you go.
All right. Zoom me in.
All right.
Admit you were associated in some scope with convicted drug trafficker / murderer for hire felon James Rosemond, a.k.a. Jimmy Henchman, Czar Entertainment. And the grounds for this question was conspiracy and RICO. Admit you were aware of allegations that James Rosemond, a.k.a. Jimmy Henchman, had ordered the 1994 quad studio robbery / shooting of the late rapper Tupac Shakur before being associated / letting your daughter be managed by Henchman Entertainment, Czar Entertainment, and the grounds is conspiracy and RICO. Admit you intentionally lied on Oprah Winfrey, on national television in an attempt to cover up. Grounds establishing a pattern of a pathological liar and family conspirer, including her celebrity daughter, and that would be Brandy. Admit you infamously conspired with others to intentionally lie to Oprah Winfrey on national television. Grounds I read that already. Admit that to your knowledge, within 10 years of the complaint being filed, defendant Mr. Jones has acted / allegedly acted with lawless relevance to this litigation. The grounds for that is foundation of involvement, conspiracy, and RICO. Admit to your knowledge, within 10 years of the complaint being filed, defendant Mr. Jones has conspired in violation of the law with at least one defendant individual relevant in this litigation, and the grounds is a foundation of involvement, conspiracy, and RICO.
So,
is that your name, CS2 Back? Is RICO now?
RICO. So CS2 Back acted lawlessly. Well, I don't know. A similar word to lawlessness with the same meaning would be a crime. He has acted criminally relevant to this litigation. That's the extortion. That's the intimidation. That's the threats. By force of violence. You don't have to necessarily do the violence. The threat in itself, especially with such a reputation, in collusion with the overall conspiracy and RICO. So when he say he got nothing to do with it, I want y'all to remember this and tell him, well, nah, it said you were breaking crimes, not civil.
And remember, terrorist threats are punishable by law.
Yeah, I think it's a maximum 3 years.
And that would be considered domestic terroristic threats, right?
Yeah, well, it's still a felony.
Or is it still the same Oh no, I know it's the same, but I was just trying to understand because I know that can't.
Eddie, after 9/11, they deemed all those violent threats as terrorist.
Who said that?
Somebody on Clubhouse.
Where the voice come from?
Right.
I forgot Clubhouse is there. What's popping, Clubhouse? All right. So,
thanks for the information. You want me to blow that up, or can you read it?
Well, we kind of are starting at the end of a sentence.
Oh yeah, it wasn't in order. But we going down to 70. Yeah.
Okay. Admit that Mr. Jones was instructed to contact informed plaintiff. There's no way. We read that already. Oh, no, we need to, the grounds. All right. I let a cracker get percentage on behalf in some form with Raytronics on behalf of Raytronics board members, shareholders in approximately February of 2017. Grounds, personal knowledge, conspiracy, and RICO. Admit that Mr. Jones was instructed to contact the plaintiff in verbatim. You know how connected I am across the globe. I don't have to kill nobody. They just gonna do it because that's what they feel they told. On behalf, in some form with Raytronics, on behalf of Raytronics board members, shareholders in February 2017, the grounds is personal knowledge, conspiracy, and RICO. Admit Mr. Jones was instructed to contact Jean Paul to threaten him on behalf in some form with Raytronics. Scroll up.
That's as high as it goes.
On behalf of Raytronics board members, shareholders in 2016, the grounds is personal knowledge, conspiracy, and RICO. So they are establishing this through these questions.
And that further implicates Wack 100 in criminal behavior. The threats, the intimidation on behalf of this business deal going wrong. This business dispute going wrong. This guy said he owns percentages of this and that somebody at Raytronics sent him to threaten him, to threaten others, and even put hands and a pistol in a man's mouth. I don't know who don't think that's criminal, but did we already read this? No, we didn't.
No, we didn't.
And it starts, let me go to the thing. Oh, yeah. So it's just going to start with those two over there. That's all we had. I guess that's how we had to get it. Let me go to...
I can pull it up on my side if you want.
Yeah, that's 227 to 359. Okay. And then I'll stop sharing, and then that's 228 of 359. I got the same work she got. Hey, y'all, is CS2 back? Come back in the room?
No, I don't know where that nigga went, man. What's the deal, though?
That nigga down bad, nigga. He ain't telling all them people he promised he was gonna look out for that he had this federal indictment. I mean, he been talking about everybody got RICOs and conspiracies, and the feds is watching them, and I don't know, my nigga. Now we find out he was the one that had it. I don't know what to think about that, my nigga. What was your intent?
I know what to think. It's straight like that. It's like this. All the stuff that he was saying about everybody else, the brother was deflecting because he was defected. Mark Stevens. Salute to you, brother. That brother
salute Mark Stevens.
Hey, man, salute to Dale Dog, man. He was, hey, man,
rest in peace.
Dale Dog, rest in peace, man, said, hey, my nigga Big Gov was like, I'm Dale Dogging. I ain't answering no calls from somebody that's cooperating with the court of law. And that's CS2 back. It's hey, Deuce, Henny, Diamond. Very extensive research. Like you said earlier, all you have to do is Google it. This shit is so simple, but he's going to deflect. He's going to deflect because he's defected. And he's going to tell you it's not real, like you said earlier. All you got to do is Google this shit, man, because the feds picked it up. This is reiterating. I'm just reiterating. The feds picked it up. Google this shit. Y'all got to know who y'all doing business with, man. I niggas to say, oh, man, I ain't doing no I ain't doing no gangster shit with him. Hell, read the paperwork. It's saying in the paperwork, we just repeat the paperwork, that he was supposed to be doing all this gangster shit, but then at the same time, you talking to the police and turning niggas into the police. Like, bro, and
Right.
then you got the mama, you got Mrs. Hey, Miss Norwood, the gangster rat. I'm a gangster. You feel me? She a pyro. I don't know shit.
All right,
He put
come
his
on,
face in
Henny.
everything.
Henny ready. Let's go.
Oh no, Henny not ready. Y'all threw me off.
My bad. All right, we got your back.
I got it. I'm ready.
All right.
My bad, Henny.
All right. Y'all can see that good. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
defendant has, this is gonna be a long read, y'all, because we had 228, but you wanted me to start where it began, right?
Yeah.
That's at 226. So we're gonna be reading for a minute. So y'all, let me sip some water. Hold on. Okay. All right.
Conversations.
Defendant has personal knowledge of the interrogators. Defendant 2022 continuing fraud regarding 1% worth, not a rebrand, and ultimately not his number, and earlier saying sue him plus fiduciary confident fiduciary.
It's mean finances, but I can't get it right now either.
Confidential trust relationship performed with all the fraud to you presenting court plaintiff not compelling, all allow for discovery within statute regarding active name torts that discovery has already been ongoing by defendant to related subject. All objections by defendant to plaintiff's merit discovery questions are solely a joke to solely delay discovery and progress made in bad faith. Objections were overboard, irrelevant, not with merit, entirely boilerplate, to not allow discovery without court intervention, and while taking unfair percentage of a pro se litigation. And finally, night before April of 2023, IDC provided a day late response that are now being addressed below. Additional questions have been required due to the fraudulent responses, as well as due to the amount of torturous activity. Evidence, in addition to hopefully not burden defendant with a deposition where it should be the same fraudulent written verified answers. As court stated, show your cards. That defendant is still refusing, attempted to not show. In addition, the court clearly stated as their view, if you do not answer discovery, you settle. Defendant Mr. Norwood, in his verified responses, denied every single RFAs and set one amendment through three with hundreds of exhibits, photos, videos, contracts, texts, social media posts.
I got the video.
You ain't got the video on nothing.
I got the word. Hey, shut up.
And I got the proof. And have been nothing short of fraudulent perjury in an act or continuing and furtherance of their fraud, oppression, and malice. And counsel knows these exhibits are 100% authentic, and those videos and audio exhibits are large part of grounds for allowing. Per civil RICO, the government has essentially allowed plaintiff to act as a private attorney general, supplementing government efforts by undertaking litigation in the predicted acts or other acts of racketeering, etc. As well as plaintiff has a right to look at emails, texts, phone logs, contracts, etc. He sought RICO discovery of communication that plaintiff is seeking only related to the litigation and RICO activities based on the grounds, i.e. Suge Knight in Reggie Wright Jr. released jail call, was discussed how Ray J was texting a bunch of people he was going to have them stabbed and raped, as well famously stated on a nationally syndicated show, Breakfast Club. He was going to have rapper Fabulous raped and had 100 goons that'll move will move and how Fabulous is not safe in his own town once he hits. Get in contact with DJ K. And that's
Hey,
K
Sway.
and he has since deceased, but he was named in here. And on Sway, remember Sway was listed as an associate. Interviews stated gang politics over family and Wack, etc. Same gang and to Clubhouse. Oh, yeah, Wack, etc. Same gang. And to Clubhouse with Mr. Norwood saying how Wack pressed individuals over a Miami Scooty bike issue for him after they allegedly said, hush and pipe down. You just don't want nobody to tell the truth on you. Thank you. Allegedly said he couldn't go to Miami regarding event in Gene Paul, approximately 30 million Raytronics, Mr. Norwood, now settled lawsuit. To Passion on Clubhouse asked Mr. Norwood, say what I used to do for you. And he said he didn't want to get her indicted. Oh, indicated. Sorry. And then with Cash Jones' serious threat of murder to plaintiff call and suggested had something else on plaintiff to destroy to the best of his ability in an extortion threat, and then saying no more Ray J business multiple times. And this was after he did an earlier post on me saying he's putting community on notice. Then I ended up getting basically kidnapped, illegally imprisoned, and tortured by LAPD, including etc., including Sharetta Mays, who is following Wack's Clubhouse and throws up the same gang signs as him on Facebook until I mentioned it in my deposition and she deleted her account. And to start, Mr. Jones is believed to have been sicked on plaintiff after the call with Miss Norwood. Miss Norwood, when she threatened to get him involved, and Mr. Norwood didn't get Mr. Jones' social media posts taken down after 2 emails. And let's not forget the text plaintiff also received about if post not down going to start gang war and Ray J, OHB now, and it's bad look. So problem now, etc. This reads anyway. More
Right.
RICO acts from drugs to murders, etc. Cited as you saw and denied 1AC to allow RICO discovery, and you're aware of from provided discovery, etc. Defendants have legal right of asserting the Fifth Amendment if they do not want to answer versus boilerplate objection. Now to waste court's resources and everyone's time withholding the truth and facts. So they're pleading the Fifth to stall
about all of these allegations. Well, one thing that I don't think they could deny, and they're not arguing, is that there's a police officer on the 100 ENT side who throws up the same gang size as CS2 back. There's also the allegation where he admitted that he does business with crooked police officers and police and judges who are also implicated in this federal RICO. But I really want to focus on this extortion. Thank you, Henny. Shout out to the Henny
scroll
gang.
down a little bit more.
No. That was pretty much it. We didn't want to get into all of that. I think it was just that was the Whitney Houston thing right after that, huh?
We're coming up on that. Let's go.
Coming up on Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, my bad. Continue. We'll transition into the extortion after that.
Okay, so here we go. Manager has transferred his valuables. Okay, so we're gonna start here. These are like run-on sentences. Let me just say, whoever typed this up, you did a terrible job. Okay.
The guy that was filing, the plaintiff.
You should have hit me up.
He's a mountaineer. He's a mountaineer.
Gotcha. So that's why it's a lot of etc. Okay, it's relevant due to Mr. Jones' lawlessness, where destroying evidence is a risk factor and not bothering to answer after served with summons to promote a fact he never takes the stand etc. Especially as the media summed it up, Jayceon Taylor, aka The Game, who Mr. Jones also manages, has other litigations regarding a $7 million judgment, whereby further litigation has arose, as the media worded it, due to the model chasing game for $7 million, claims the rapper has transferred all of his valuable assets into shell companies controlled by his manager, Cash Wack 100 Jones, and even on social media, Instagram.
That conduct is part of RICO. Go ahead and continue.
Okay. And was even on social media, Instagram, with a post, last time I checked, hashtag Wack owned all royalties to Born to Rap, and I don't owe the bitch a dime. To Mr. Norwood's destruction of social media posts, etc., 2 times since litigation has been filed, that he denied RFA set 3. So he's denying a piece of evidence. Plus, Miss Whitney Houston, aka The Voice, has referred to plaintiff as her godchild. And Mr. Norwood was seen with/dating her at the time of her death. And even in the hotel room later that night, even running into the room and being restrained by law enforcement, allegedly, things were moved in the room. Miss Houston died while acutely intoxicated on cocaine, per the coroner's report by Ed Winter, who noted cause of death due to drowning. Due to cocaine use and heart disease, per his autopsy report. And Mr. Winter passed away in March of 2023. Miss Houston's sister-in-law has been very vocal on national television that defendant Mr. Norwood provided her access to drugs and was her runner boy. Mr. Jones stated in late 2022 that him and Mr. Norwood had been in a presidential suite with Miss Houston, smoking crack, doing cocaine. I'm going to repeat that.
Yeah,
let me repeat that. Mr. Jones, let me highlight it. Mr. Jones stated in late 2022 that him and Mr. Norwood had been in a presidential suite with Miss Houston, smoking crack, doing cocaine. Mr. Norwood, in approximately 2011, was working on a book with Maxwell Billion and recording their conversation when he asked Mr. Norwood, "Is Whitney clean?" whom responded, "If I want her to be," before immediately ending that recording and falling out, persuaded, as is Mr. Norwood's pattern. So basically, he falls out, he says he's going to unalive himself and all of that, and it's just a pattern. With Mr. Billion releasing the shocking audio to the public, Mr. Norwood later on UK television show Big Brother Celebrity, Mr. Norwood made the further statement referencing Miss Houston, "It's all my fault, everything that happened." Where VH1 headline was, "It's all my fault, a guilt-ridden Ray J blames himself for Whitney Houston's ultimate death. No one has been held accountable." Untimely death, I'm sorry. No one has been held accountable. Then there's all the gang signs and gang colors, gang lingo, etc., overt actions that were all fraudulently denied by Mr. Norwood. RFA set 3 predicate acts are required per statute.
Thank you, Henny. I guess it's obvious what she read is what was accused. Wack 100 was allegedly at the scene at the time with Ray J and Whitney Houston at the time of her untimely demise, right? Then we gonna get into some other stuff, but we'll get to that at the end. Let's get into this extortion claim, because that's a real serious felony charge, and I don't even understand why Wack 100 is consistently getting away with extorting people. I mean, if you're under federal investigation multiple times, you was in the mainstream, all of these things, and you're getting away with all of this, and you're working with dirty cops, so it's starting to make sense. Wack 100 says Kanye West accepted unreleased Kim Kardashian sex tape. Wack 100 is working his trolling techniques to get under the skin of Hollywood's elite. His recent appearance on the Bootleg Kev podcast brought forth the admission that he's currently in possession of an unreleased Kim Kardashian and Ray J sex tape. Not only that, but he said that he would be willing to offer the tape to Kanye West free of charge. All I know is Kanye, holla at me, bro. We got part 2 on the laptop, ain't never been seen. We love for you to have it. Wack said on the podcast, it'll be a great personal private NFT. So he's threatening. Oh, shit. Hold on. So he's threatening. So he's threatening essentially to release this tape on Kim Kardashian. Now, if y'all don't keep up with Kim Kardashian like most of the people that I grew up around, then you would pretty much understand this was the time that Kanye met up with Wack 100. Let me share this with y'all, and we're going to get into that real quick.
I tried to get the nigga to, hey, listen, hey, nephew, I tried to help the nigga. You know,
it's taking a long time to load.
It's there.
I got the tape.
Let me see. You can see it. It's not loading, no.
Freaky.
Get to it. Bam. All right.
Can you hear me, dudes?
We can hear you.
I can hear you, but I'm trying to make sure they can see this screen. So, as I was saying, Wack 100 in that article claiming he had the tapes and leveraging it for some kind of get back because he's talking about a private NFT for the second tape. Obviously, any man who has kids, and that's their kid's mother, wouldn't want to defile their mind, corrupt their mind, and humiliate the family if he could prevent it, whether they're together or not. Salute to Ye for stepping up as a man on this one. And this was the result of Wack 100 in that.
You went all the way to LA to get something for Kim? Mm-hmm. You were something else. What did you get?
Well, that's what she wants to show you.
Oh. Yeah. Hey guys. Hi.
Girl, I wanted to show you guys.
Yeah, because I was just going to cry, so I didn't want to.
Cry. But I can cry because I don't know you guys need to cry. So Kanye flew home last night. And he came back this morning. I want to show you guys what he got me.
Oh my God.
I want to show you guys what he got me. He got me all of the sex tape back.
Oh my God.
And he flew home and got my computer was on the hard drive. And I met up with Ray J at the airport and got it all back for me.
Oh, Kim.
Oh my God.
That's amazing.
I know Kanye did this for me, but he also did this for my kids. I want to shield them from as much as I can. And if I had the power to, or if Kanye has the power to, like, that is just the most important thing to me. And I'm just like so emotional because of it. And it just means a lot to me.
I think I need a security guard just to stand by this janky bag.
Oh, thank you for Kanye and for his unbelievable way he does things and the ability to get some.
Salute the Culture Queen who dropped that video. But extortion. Leveraging someone with a sex tape, with a secret, right? For equitable gain. This was something that went before the VH1 in the world to see. And the laws, these crooked police that he admittedly worked with, that he admittedly has on Clubhouse in his rooms, that throw up gang signs and all of that. He's allowed to get away with that, with these criminal acts that are alleged in this indictment. But that wasn't the only time that they allowed him to get away with some extortion, right? I'm gonna take y'all back.
Real quick, hold on 1 second. We got some in the chat, man. We got LC Trust with the $4.99 super sticker. Then we got CJ Love N1207 with the $5 super chat. And it says, thank you for all this. Henny. Hey, listen, we appreciate everybody in the chat. We appreciate the super chats being donated and blessed. Any and everything you guys send us, man. We highly appreciate it. Thank you. Bless you. And we highly appreciate you from that girl, Henny, and the Damo Keyway Conversation team. Salute.
Salute. Let's get right into it. So he extorts Kim and Kanye on the second Kim Kardashian and Ray J sex tape.
Shenanigans is in the room, so this is going on YouTube.
So wait, what? It's all right.
Man,
tell that nigga
left looking like Squidward, bro.
Tell that nigga Spence if he love you, he better holler at Oscar De La Hoya's attorney. Tell that nigga I got a couple videos and pictures. He don't want him to come out. Tell that nigga run that bag. Yeah.
Oh shit. Wack. How do you get all this shit? Like what the fuck?
Nigga, Oscar, I paid $850 off Oscar. The nigga
How do you get all these tapes and videos of people? He said I made $850,000 off Oscar De La Hoya, off of tapes and what you call it. Tell me this ain't extortion, and tell me somebody riddle me why Wack 100 was never arrested and charged when he's admitting to these crimes.
You want to pay me another $250,000? That's why the pictures is up on the internet. Go
that was your first real one, huh, Wack? That first one, huh?
Go Google Oscar De La Hoya fishnets. Watch
Let me go.
That was your first money bag. That one of those ones, huh, Wack?
Yeah,
I remember when you did that one, Wack.
It's a video that go with that made me $850 in it. He was with the heels on, legs back, getting banged out with a 10-inch stick. Get out.
Absolutely not.
But if you go,
what the fuck?
They didn't want to pay for them pictures, so nigga, that they went. But the video, they did the business, and y'all ain't seen that. That was horrible. They had two ladies spreading the legs, one bitch banging him. What?
No.
You seen them? No. You looking at them? Lady kill, I'm the truth.
No.
Yeah, don't fuck with Wack. Oh, no punches.
So on that video, Wack 100 takes sole responsibility, saying, I'm the truth. He even goes so far to detail that initially he asked for a quarter ticket or he was going to release the pictures. He released the pictures when he didn't receive the $250,000. So after that, I guess, intimidated with the threats that CS2 Back was sending his way about releasing a video footage, De La Hoya ultimately gave him $800 and some thousand, allegedly. If you believe Cash Jones, right? Threats, intimidation, force,
extortion, and blackmail.
Exactly. But I guess he could get away with it. But this ain't the only other time he's been he's asserted and been involved with some kind of sex tape. Let's get to the let's get to this one.
But wait, there's more. You awfully quiet, CS2 Back.
What up, Miss Pookie? Let me share this for the people to see. Paperwork that we released from the Main Street Mafia Crip case that Wack said was fake. I mean, it's really consistent with everything else. I don't think too many people gonna believe you on that one. Let me blow this up for y'all to see. You want to read this, Henny?
Sure. Where do you want me to start at?
Right here where it say during this same period.
All right, y'all. During this same period of time, O'Neal, as in Shaquille O'Neal, and Stevens, which is Mark Stevens, felt Ross was causing too much bad publicity for them because he had been arrested for possession of a firearm and was dropping O'Neal's name to police when stopped for a traffic violation. O'Neal and Stevens therefore made the decision to sever all ties with Ross. Within the next couple of months, Stevens received a voicemail message from Ross stating, "I need to talk to you, man. The big fella, he's slipping. He's making a lot of mistakes." Soon after, Stevens received a call from Cash Jones. Jones told him that Ross had a sex tape of Shaquille O'Neal having sex with a woman, not his wife, at Ross's home, and that Ross could take the tape to TMZ and get a lot of money. Investigators asked Stevens if Ross, Jones, or anyone else ever demanded money in exchange for the tape. Stevens said no, and he felt at this time an attempt for Ross to get back in contact with O'Neal. Investigators asked Stevens where he was during the event of February 10th, 2008. He first said he was in Las Vegas when he received a phone call from Ross's brother, and Cash Jones telling him about Ross being assaulted. However, this was 3 or 4 days after the assault occurred. Stevens later said he thought he was in New Orleans on the night of the incident. However, he would have to check up. I can't see that.
Check his calendar.
His calendar when he returned.
All right, so that's one page, and that's Mark Stevens investigative report when talking to the police about the kidnapping of Stutterbox, aka Robert Ross, in that alleged extortion attempt. So Wack 100 is said in there to have been the one who contacted Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal, telling them his buddy Stutterbox, his neighbor Stutterbox, the person he said he was riding with, had a sex tape of Shaq, and he was going to TMZ with it. Sound familiar?
Sounds very familiar.
Well, that's called extortion. But that statement was corroborated in Stutterbox, Robert Ross's thing. You want to read this for us, Henny?
Sure. Ross, who was still upset over the fact that he was owed money, had a friend named Cash Jones deliver a message to Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal. Jones told them that Ross had a videotape of O'Neal having sex with a woman inside Ross's home in July of 2007. Stevens, who had been to Ross's home, knew that he had surveillance cameras throughout his home and that O'Neal had, in fact, been there. Ross told investigators Fournier and Coet that he viewed the surveillance footage from the surveillance system monitor. However, he never downloaded it to a tape. He said the footage had since been recorded over by later surveillance. Ross was adamant that he was just bluffing in hopes that he would get the money that was owed to him. The kidnapping and robbery took place approximately 2 weeks after Jones delivered the message to Stevens and O'Neal.
Okay, let's stop right there. Let's stop right there because we don't even need the rest. But so it's corroborated by Robert Ross when he talked with these detectives, and it's corroborated by Mark Stevens, the victim who was kidnapped allegedly, and then the targets of the investigation, Shaquille O'Neal and Mark Stevens, who was his business partner, co-CEO of Deja 34 Records. That was the record label that signed Ray J. Wack 100 was initially put on, if you believe Mark Stevens, as security guard for Ray J, because he claimed he was a Paru and he needed somebody to look out for him on the West Coast. Now, the fact that Detective Coet, whose name is written here, is the same person that said Wack 100, Cash Jones was the only person arrested, we're going to forget about that. We're going to focus on the point that Robert Ross, who you was buddies with, told the police that you delivered a message to Mark Stevens, right? The police made a statement that the kidnapping and robbery took place approximately 2 weeks after you delivered the message to Stevens. So once you tried the extortion tactic in your conspiracy to extort with Robert Ross, Stutterbox, of Mark Stevens and Shaquille O'Neal, you were the one that delivered that message. And then as retaliation, he was allegedly kidnapped. We're going to end that one right there, and we're going to take y'all out with this because we already over time. Let's go like this. Boom. Welcome to Damu Keyway Conversation. ACS too bad. What up? Yeah. Y'all ain't with us?
Keyway Conversations.
Hey, CS too back. I could understand why you back there hiding this and all that now. You know what I'm saying? This is some heavy shit, bro. I didn't know you was caught up in all this type of shit. Why you didn't tell us?
Hey, my business is my business. Hey, look. Hey, check this out, Chuck. Hey, listen. You don't got no jurisdictional credentials to be bifurcation on my shit.
Bifurcation? I'm not trying to confront you with anything. These is the facts of the case. In fact, we gonna watch this 1 minute clip, and then I want everybody who don't subscribe to That Girl Henny or to the Active Chuck page, stay tuned. Tomorrow will be day 3, and we will be getting into Ray J. But we definitely wanted y'all to see and tie Wack 100's motor operandi of conspiracy to extortion. I didn't even mention the Nipsey Hussle case, where he say Big U told him to get him a contract to try to extort his family after the man had passed. But this is
comments over my face again, Deuce.
Oh man, why we hiding your pretty face?
You gotta rearrange the screen. You gotta put us at the top or something.
All right, we gonna get into that right now. They can see you now though. I fixed that part. Let's get into it.
I really miss my friend.
Tune in tomorrow.
I really do. I'm still hurting.
And the next thing you know, she's dead. Ray J was the last person to see her alive. He let the dealer in.
Ray J was the last person to see Whitney alive, and he let the drug dealer in. Well, the only 2 people we know that was with Whitney Houston in that room was who?
CS2 back. And it was Ray J and Whitney. There was those 3, only them 3.
Is that enough to for us to surmise that Wack 100 really was a drug dealer at some point? Who knows? Let's go.
But she was sober, right? But he let the dealer in that gave her the shot.
When I first heard she passed away, I said, my God, somebody gave her a bad bag.
Cocaine.
Yes, I promise you, that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And then I saw Ray J, and it all added up.
I will forever believe that Brandy knows who's responsible for Whitney Houston's death, and she is scared to speak up. Now, word on the street is Clyde Davis had her off for her catalog, just like they did Michael Jackson. Let me tell you why.
Jaguar is throwing shade on Whitney's name.
And that's all we're going to get into. Tune in tomorrow for the case on Ray J and what he brings to it. The day after, we should be getting into his mom, but we might have to double back because it's extensive with Ray J and his mom, all of the players that's in this case. So while Wack 100 say that we made this up, I wasn't on TikTok 2-3 years ago when that guy was making that whole thing about Clyde Davis and this conspiracy. When the woman said that Ray J let the drug dealer into the room with him when she died, right? I wasn't on Clubhouse doing that. This paperwork is totally congruent with everything that the paperwork is adjudicating, and we don't even know those people. Take us out, Henny.
So when it comes down to this case, I feel like we have just seen a pattern of his extortion tactics and acts. Not only that, he goes on Clubhouse and every other social media platform and runs his mouth about all of his activities, ultimately undoing himself which is why every room he's in is under investigation, whether he wants to admit to it or not. If we want to know what Wack is up to, all we got to do is tune in and listen, if you can stand his voice. But are we close to the show out all the way, or is everybody giving a final?
Hey, they can stand my voice. They can't stand you. Hey, niece,
they
check this out.
love me. You know you love to hear my voice. You love to hear me say your name.
Hey, say it again, niece. Let me hear you, because I like family stuff. You know, it's a family affair.
Hey, look, we were supposed to do 45 minutes, but that paperwork was extensive. We kept the content to 47 minutes, so we're going to cut it here. And thank everybody for coming to support Damu Kibe Conversation. Henny gang. Oh,
I got to send the Henny gang out how they're used to. They didn't like that last time. So let me introduce y'all to the exit from the bar, okay? When y'all rest well, and remember that love is always love, y'all.
Damu Kibe.